I'm live. I'm live. We're live. Welcome, everyone. To Cyclonic. Not colonic. That's a totally different thing. This is a much more pleasing and I'm sure healthier endeavor. So I am so thrilled to be here to help Andy launch Queen of Vaudeville into the world. I've known Andy for quite some time now. And actually, our first date, we no longer date, we did date, was in this very venue. We were up there, right? We were standing up there, and it was at a moth slam. And that was great. And we found out that we have so much in common, and we've become great, great friends. I was a little shocked as a history major. I do not have a doctorate in theater studies like certain people I know, like Mr. Andy Erdman. But I did study at undergrad, and I had never heard of Eva Tanguay. And I have realized what a huge mistake that is and what a huge lack and loss that is for me and for the rest of us. So I'm so glad to help introduce some of her work into the world, which is detailed thoroughly in the wonderful new book, Queen of Vaudeville, which can be purchased right here.
Congratulations, Andy. I think it took almost as long for Andy to research and write this book as Eva's career lasted. Not really. It did take him 8 years, and there were highs and lows and ups and downs, but it all was worth it because there's a wonderful book which you can purchase for $20, the reduced price of $20, and Andy will even sign it for you if you're nice to him, or even if you're not nice to him. So Eva lived from 1878 to 1947. And she, of course, was a vaudevillian. Now, vaudeville was around from about the 1880 to 1920. I was just reading a Camille Paglia essay in Salon, and it was interesting in that she was talking about how she actually loves reality shows, like the Real Housewives shows in particular, and how she really does think that in a way they harken back to vaudeville, and how many of the early character actors in TV and film were all trained in vaudeville. And then what we're sorely lacking in a lot of the mass media today are really trained performers who really know how to perform separately from whatever badly written scripts they're handed to read. So tonight, hopefully we're going to give you a sense of that. We have some amazing performers that are going to show you both some modern and some vaudeville-inspired acts. And first of all, I want to talk a little bit about, first of all, I also want to say that she got her start, Eva got her start at age 9, and by 10 she was starring in a traveling production of Little Lord Fauntleroy. So she is a real career show woman, and you'll learn more about her over the course of the evening, and if you purchase the book for $20. So Andy said that he thinks his love of vaudeville perhaps started with his love of the Carol Burnett show, which I share. I loved that show so much. She's the best. At 10 o'clock every Friday. Is that right? I think that was right. So, or Saturday, as the case may be. And he first got interested in Eva specifically while he was researching his doctoral thesis, which was also turned into a book, which you can buy on Amazon.com, and that's called Blue Vaudeville: Sex, Morals, and Mass Marketing of Amusement, from 1895 to 1950. So there's another book of Andy's you can read. So as I said, it took him 8 years and 180,000 words to bring Eva to life. But luckily for you, he chopped 50,000 of those words away. So I don't know if it's lucky or not, but they're gone. They'll be in the director's cut. Yeah, that's the next version. So let's see. You may or may not know that Andy is also a social worker. So he's a man of many trades, an Andy of many trades. And he's also written for Fortune, National Lampoon, other national magazines. And also, so first we're going to have a reading, and I'm going to also bring up Mary Lorson, who is a singer-songwriter who's joining us today from Ithaca. And it is in her family lore that her great-grandmother was Eva Tanguay's dresser on the road, so traveled with her and dressed her in all her very elaborate costumes, some of which you'll hear more about tonight. And her name was Helena Bordelais Price. And she worked with her for around a decade, more or less. And the two of them, so Andy appeared in a movie by a professor, Kathleen Golden, called Three Vaudeville Women, and he was interviewed in that. And this professor said, oh, there is this singer-songwriter, Mary Lorson, who's also very interested in Eva. You guys should look each other up. And the rest is history. So here they come, and they are going to perform Lotta Faust. Give you an idea of Ms. Eva Tanguay. Thanks for being here.
Quite as tall. Thanks everyone for coming out. It's really wonderful to see so many people, yeah, it just makes me feel great. And I think not only was Bordeley, yep. You alleged that she was not only Eva's dresser, but perhaps her undresser as well. Take my point. Catch my drift. What?
My bike is not on actually, but
can we?
One wonders what the nature of their true relationship was. I know that. My great-grandmother did leave her husband, who was an architect in Manhattan, left him, put her kids in boarding school, and went on the road with Eva. And stayed on the road with her for a while.
Little Thelma and Louise. Actually.
Oh, if we could fill in the blanks.
But with a horse pulling the cart over. So we're gonna do a reading with some music from one of the early chapters in the book. You're gonna hear a few chapters from the book to give you kind of a flavor of the story, Eva's life, and the book and how it sounds, as well as my voice sort of talking at you. And Mary's gonna read some of it, and we're gonna mix in some music, and hopefully it'll be fun. So why don't we bring up the first slide? Put it in slideshow. There we go. In 1901, Eva got the chance to move up the professional ladder from notable itinerant performer to praiseworthy supporting player when she was cast in a Broadway show called My Lady. Although billed as a musical comedy, My Lady was in fact somewhere along the spectrum between loosely cobbled vaudeville fare, relying heavily on recognizable personalities doing their signature specialties, and a scripted musical review. My Lady was a parody of the Three Musketeers in 3 acts. It was also during the run of My Lady that Eva first threw aside any expectation of submissiveness. She began to see that suffering stoically at the bottom of her profession's food chain suited neither her personality nor her talents and professional aims, for she was no longer content to submerge herself among the lot of chorus girls, which was her assignment, in addition to the small role of Gabrielle du Chaillu. Eva looked with increasing suspicion on her fellow chorus line denizens in My Lady. She saw them as enemies rather than peers.
In particular, Eva focused her animosity on Lotta Faust, a girlish beauty who had appeared in The Liberty Bells and would go on to win regard as the girl with the luminous eyes and a valuable laugh after her appearance in The Wizard of Oz in 1903.
In rehearsals, Lotta Faust, whose very name indicated trouble, was chosen to step forth from the kick line and sing a tune called Miss Virginia. During a break one afternoon, Eva crackled into her own rendition of the song. The future queen of vaudeville even added a few quirky dance steps. "Hey, Tanguay, you!" shouted the stage manager. "Do that again!" She did. Faust lost the number and Eva got it. The girl from Holyoke, who had started out as an itinerant Little Lord Fauntleroy, now had a featured song and dance on Broadway, and Lotta Faust had a new enemy.
When the show began its preliminary out-of-town trial in Boston, Faust made fast friends with a number of love-struck rah-rah boys from Harvard. Having recruited her Crimson Army of champions, Lotta Faust now summoned them to New York to exact revenge. One night, as Eva sang, one of the college pranksters who had traveled down from Cambridge hurled a biscuit on stage. Jessie Jordan, another chorus beauty, an ally of Faust's, stepped forward and threw the cookie back at the crowd, causing the house to erupt in peals of laughter.
When Eva later uncovered the scheme, it is said the Ivy League Confederates got $50 for their part. She went ballistic. Any notion of prudish Victorian victimization went out the window. Eva Tanguay was not a chorus drone, nor would she tame herself for the purpose of decorous comportment. When Eva finally found Jessie Jordan in the latter's dressing room, she grabbed Jordan's throat and choked her until her tongue hung out as far as that, in the words of the Evening World's Charles Darnton. Jessie Jordan allegedly lost consciousness for several hours, and Eva Tanguay gained a reputation as an awful fiend, perfect and enticing stageland gossip.
I think that if Twitter had been around back then, this would have been a tweet. The girl with luminous eyes and a valuable laugh. A valuable laugh. That's what I aim to have. All right, so next up, I am so thrilled to introduce Molly Pope. Molly, I saw her in Dan Fishbeck's Material World at Dixon Place last summer, and it was a showstopper, this woman. As she said to me, please call on me anytime you have need of some brassy belting. She's very good at the brassy belting and many other things. Her own shows have played at Joe's Pub, Feinstein's, Ars Nova, the Laurie Beachman, and the Adelaide Cabaret Festival in Australia. She's also, I love this one, Time Out New York voted her one of the top 10 divas every gay man should know and be obsessed with. So here is, oh, and also if there were one word that she could use to describe Miss Eva Tanguay, it's a hyphenated word. Devil may care. Molly Pope.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I look ridiculous. Could we maybe have a little light for my dear friend, Mr. Brendan James Gwynn, who goes on many musical tours with me? Now, I have to tell you, I coughed really hard earlier and split my dress open up the back. But luckily, Carla Rhodes had some safety pins and I had a jacket, so you will be spared that sight. All right, I'm going to do two things. The first one is my vague attempt to trace Eva and her signature song and sentiment through the ages. So we've got an Eva, then we've got something from about, I think, 1950, then something from the early aughts, our early aughts. And then I'm going to do a number that's sort of what I do in my own demented world. Shall we? Okay. They say I'm crazy, got no sense, but I don't care. They may or may not mean offense, but I don't care. You see, I'm sort of independent of that clever race descendant, and my star is on the ascendant. That's why I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what they may think of me. I'm happy-go-lucky, men say I am plucky, so jolly and carefree. I don't care if I do get the mean and stony stare. If I'm never successful, it won't be distressful, 'cause I don't care. Some people say I think I'm it, but I don't care. They say they don't like me a bit, but I don't care. My spirit is so effervescing, it is one there's no distressing. My spirit there is no oppressing. That's why I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. blues, I lay low. I'll make them stay low. They'll never trail over my head. I'll be a devil till I'm an angel, but until then, so what? I'm still a rock star. I got my rock moves, and I don't need you. And guess what? I'm having more fun. And now that we're done, I'm gonna show you tonight. I'm alright. I'm just fine. And you're a tool. So guess what? I am a rock star. I got my rock moves, and I don't want you. Na 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 na. I don't care. I don't care. I know that style like mine is mighty rare, so no one can face me by calling me crazy, 'cause I don't care.
All right. So that just happened to all of us. At the same time, so isn't it convenient? So, all right, this is a little taste of what I do in my act. It's a song you may recognize. And I've got a show on Monday at Ye Old Duplex. It's called Molly Pope, okay? With a question mark. And I have cards, because I'm terrible at self-promotion. Dear, I fear we're facing a problem. You love me no longer. I know, and maybe there is nothing that I can do to make you do.
Mama tells me I shouldn't bother, that I ought to stick to another man, a man that surely deserves me. I think you do. And so I cry, I pray, and I beg, love me, say that you love me, fool me, go on and fool me, love me, pretend that you love me, need me, just say that you need me. Lately I have desperately pondered, spent my nights awake, and I wondered what I could have done in another way to make you stay. Reason will not teach a solution. I will end up lost in confusion. I don't care if you really care, as long as you don't go. And so I cry, I pray, and I beg, love me, say that you love me, fool me, go on and fool me, love me, pretend that you love me, need me, just
Thank you both so much. That was not amazing. Told you. Yes, give it up. Molly Pope. Those solo shows, there's one on October 22nd and one on November 5th, 9:30 at the Duplex. So get the card and go see it. And it's cheap. Most importantly, do it. Be there. I'll be there at one of them. It's amazing. Okay, so we're going to have another reading, and I just wanted to tell you another little Eva factoid from Andy Erdman's life. Eva Tanguay's divorce attorney was, by total coincidence, the father, this is very complicated, it's like physics, the father of Andy's father's longtime law partner, Richard Ader. Can you believe that? That's a small world for you. I love the small world coincidences. And also, I wanted to say something else that Mary had mentioned, which I love, is she says that she loves Eva because she's an enigmatic woman whose time seems so foreign, but whose experience replayed itself in certain ways throughout the 20th century. And I would add, the 21st as well. And I know, right? Exactly, I'm sure. So, without any further ado, Andy and Mary.
How's everyone doing? Good. Okay. A very dear friend of mine just showed up, and I didn't think she was coming, and I'm cabelling over here. Anyway, Mary Birdsong just came. As her popularity grew, so too did Eva's reputation as an iconoclast, a wily rebel who played her own game, even if it meant being or seeming combative. Eva's particular pose this season is that of being just as big a devil off the stage as she is on, wrote a gossip reporter in 1905.
In December of that year, Eva was on a train steaming for Des Moines, Iowa. Finding it stuffy, the curly-haired comedienne got up, walked over to the door, and flung it open, without consulting the 40 other passengers on the Burlington and Quincy Railroad car. No sooner had Eva let in the icy blast, however, than the car's brakeman stomped over and shut the door. So Eva got up, went to the door, and flung it back open. And the brakeman duly shut it again. Now, Eva reportedly jumped up and down and delivered herself a piece of her mind. The train, there we are.
That was train music. Somewhere during the dispute, a man known only as Mr. Leach, and incorrectly thought to be her husband, sprang up to defend his lady friend by brandishing a revolver, which he pointed at the brake operator, shouting the usual threats. No shots were fired, and the brakemen managed to request the police meet them when the train pulled into Des Moines Station. Eva stepped off the car in an expensive white fur coat, a picture delightful to behold, in the words of a local newspaper that had perhaps sent a drama critic rather than a crime reporter to cover the event. The brake operator was not so blinded by her glamour. "I want you to put that man and woman under arrest," he told Des Moines police officer Harry Morris, who had met them at the depot, adding, "He threatened to shoot me, and he pointed a revolver at me." The railroad man then pointed the finger at Eva, alleging, "She created a terrible disturbance." Eva said nothing, for she knew when to pause for effect. Her man Leach admitted, "I've got a gun in my pocket, but I never pulled it on the brakeman." This statement did not have the exculpatory effect Eva and her beau had hoped for. Officer Morris told Eva and her surmised husband that the two had better come down to the station and have a talk with Police Chief Jones, which they agreed to do with all speed. Morris escorted the two to police headquarters, where the chief was said to be startled almost out of his Altoona boots by what he first thought was an apparition. After Morris related the facts of the imbroglio, as best he understood them, to his boss, Eva offered her version of what had gone down.
"It's all a A mistake, Chief. Oh, Mr. Jones, you would never think of locking me up on such a silly charge. I never would get over the disgrace, and I've just got to get to the hotel and get some rest before the performance tonight.
At this point, Leach then took out the gun and showed it to the police there at the station house. He said he carried it to protect Eva, whom he labeled his wife, and her thousands of dollars worth of diamonds. With Eva in a lush white fur, this argument must have carried a certain heft. But no, Leach insisted, he'd never actually pointed it at the brakeman. And so Eva was done explaining herself. If the police wanted to press the matter further, she told them all they had to do was head over to the Hotel Chamberlain and ask for Mr. and Mrs. Leach.
We are so pleased with your treatment of us. By the way, can't you take luncheon with us after the performance tonight?
No further charges were made. Eva Tanguay had apparently found the plaintiff and the police not guilty. Paragraph. There was also no further mention from Eva, either in the press or in her few surviving private letters, of a mysterious Mr. Leach. Perhaps he was a fling to salve the wound of her rejection by the man who was her alleged unrequited love, Melville Collins. Perhaps he was a hanger-on, partly in her employ as a handler. What seems clear, though, is that Eva had begun what would become a more or less continual pattern for her throughout her adult life, taking one semi-anonymous lover after another for various spells. Indeed, the very absence of information on her romantic relationships, even right down to the actual names of her paramours, may suggest Eva's fundamental anxiety toward coupling. The gun-toting Leach was soon out of Eva's life. She now forged a more serious romance with her attaché at the Keith Vaudeville producing organization, Edward Darling. He went on to manage her affairs, give her counsel, and look out for her business interests.
Couldn't write their names any better, could we? As Darling recounted in his private memoirs, fortunately or otherwise, we fell in love. Thus began an on-again, off-again romance that Eva, typical for her, spoke little about, publicly or privately. Darling may have been in love, but Eva seemed equivocal as ever. This piece was written by another paramour of Eva's, Melville Collins. Eva Tanguay's Love Song by Melville Collins.
Lovely, lovely, Mary and Andy. It is true, those names. I mean, can you imagine Melville Collins, Mr. Leach, Eva Tanguay, and of course the dresser, Helena Bordelais Price. I think it's too bad reality TV did not exist then, because I would totally watch that show. I'm not so into the housewives and the New Jersey people, but Edward Darling is his name. And Edward Darling, seriously. Unbelievable, someone scripted this, I'm sure. All right, so anyhow, we would all like to be, I would like to be there. I don't know if you'd like to be there, but I don't like to be there. Okay, next up, we have a real treat. We have Miss Carla Rhodes. Carla has been practicing ventriloquism since she was 9 years old, like a certain other performer that we know tonight from Miss Eva Tanguay. She enjoyed watching, as did I, Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chop. I mean, how can we not love them? And in fact, she actually went on to be mentored by probably both Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chop. I think it was probably both of them, because there's not... Lamb Chop just died, actually, says Andy. I would go to the funeral, seriously. So sad. She is not just your everyday ventriloquist. She has written a full-length rock and roll ventriloquism show. I can't even say that. Ventriloquism show entitled The Continuing Story of Carla Rhodes. One review says that she, and I love this, can throw her voice like a curveball, which which you gotta love. And I think the Villager says it all. I just have to read this because first of all, I never knew that see? The thing is, when you can say ventriloquism, you can use the shortened term, which I discovered is Vince, much easier to say. She is the Villager says she's the Savian Glover of Vince, almost single-handedly injecting a not notoriously, I can't read my own writing. Does anyone know how to tutor me in writing? Thank you. Injecting a notoriously uncool and backward-looking performance branch with a badly needed kick in the ass. She says that she finds Eva to be an inspiration light years ahead of her time, and she had great hair, which she did. Please give it up for Carla Rhodes.
The sky. You guys are throwing things at me already. I was really different growing up. People used to tease me for wearing makeup and dresses, but now that I'm female... What is going on here? Thank you. You guys, we have a really special guest for you. I'm going to use my useless theater minor from Middle Tennessee State University to project my voice. All you had to do was learn to spell Tennessee and you graduated. Okay, this next guy hasn't been out of his trunk since the 1940s. Ooh. You guys, let's stomp our feet. We can go like this. Let's hear it for the one, the only, Cecil Sinclair.
All right, look at this. Cecil Sinclair. It's dreadful to be here tonight. I'm going to kill you all.
Cecil, it's lovely to have you back from your trunk.
Look at this. She looks like Eva Tanguay on heroin. You're all dead.
Wow. Well, it's really great to have you back from your trunk.
Look at this dump. This is no D.F. Keith's Vaudeville circus. Get back from that trunk for this. Eva and I was one of her nonless lovers. I stabbed her with my hat pen one too many times though, and then it was over.
I'm sorry, Cecil. I'm sorry. Why don't you sing a 1.5-minute song to get the crowd acquainted with your antique personality?
Shut up. All right. Please, the booth, this song is on the Victrola, so if you can get out the Victrola and crank it up to groove number 1. Thank you, you're lovely. Let's hear it for the sound. Lovely. If you can turn it up a little, because I don't have ears. Thank you. Thank you. Ow. Well, I'm the sort of chap who's never taken for a sap. The thee and her bonnet is the feather in my cap. Well, I've sung my songs and I've told a joke or two. I've been stuck in that truck since 1922. Oh, he's so suave and debonair. Well, I'm the one and only Cecil Sinclair. Well, he's so suave and debonair. Well, I'm the one and only Cecil Sinclair. Well, in the golden age up on the vaudeville stage, I was a legend until the talk is. Thought I'd rather have a tuna than have to change my humor to not offend women, Jews, and the darkies. Cecil, how those darkies, Cecil. Oh, those flames were floozies and dames, Nancy's and Nellies, and Jackies and Janes. When I'd knock that boots and I gave them hooch, a case of termites right up the coach. Oh, he sounds wild and debonair. Well, I'm the one and only Cecil Sinclair. If you don't know my name, you're full of hot air. God damn it, I said, I'm Cecil Sinclair. God damn it, he said, he's Cecil Sinclair. Well, I'm the one and only Cecil Sinclair. Thank you. She looks like an albino buckwheat. Oh, tell me what has changed since I've been locked away. Are we out of the Great Depression? Have those Rotherdams on Wall Street been properly chastised? Do vaginas still taste terrible? It's a terrible nice to taste awful, terrible, awful, taste awful.
Cecil, what has changed since you've been locked away?
And see, look at you wearing your cowboy boots and your husky voice. You're obviously a lesbian.
What?
Lesbian, you're lesbian.
What?
You're a lesbian.
Cecil, you know, women can do whatever they want.
Lesbian.
You know, women can do whatever they want now. Women have rights now.
God damn it.
Don't you believe in women's suffrage?
I believe women should suffer as much as possible. What do you tell a woman with two black eyes?
What?
Nothing, you've already told it twice. Don't worry, the doors are locked and the room is slowly filling with gas. No one gets out alive. Especially you.
Cecil, you know, these are all friends, and this is a great book. And
What?
I said this is a great thing that we're at.
What?
So this is a great event we're at.
Sorry, I'm a man. I wasn't listening. Oh my God, I need a drink. Bartender, I need a drink. There's an alcoholic in my throat. Oh man.
Cecil, you're ruining everything. Why don't you get out of here? I want you to go. I was having fun, and now I lost every friend I ever had. Why don't you get up?
All right, I'm gonna get up. I haven't done this since I was several from D.F. Keith's London Circus. I haven't even a fail with an old age chorus girl. All right. Get on the drum roll, please, audience. Get up and walk away. I'm gonna walk away today. Get out of this dump. Goddamn Tolio. God, well, you know, sometimes there's nothing else to do except speak about my favorite topic in the world, saltwater taffy. I spent all summer with Miss Molly Pope, my current girlfriend. Let's hear from Molly. She's even dirtier than Eva Tanguay was, aren't you? Aren't you, Molly? You dirty little, you like when I gave her saltwater taffy and feed her saltwater taffy. Like when I rub it in your ears.
Okay, Cecil, why don't you do that off stage?
All right, I'll show you something. This song actually is not on the Victrola, it's on the wax cylinder, so you'll have to switch out the Victrola and put on the wax cylinder. It's Edison cylinder number 2, please. Can you start it over, please? You started this, thank you. Who wants a saltwater taffy? I've got a saltwater taffy. Who wants a saltwater taffy? I've got a saltwater taffy. Hi, hi, hi. Who wants a saltwater taffy? I've got a saltwater taffy. Who wants a saltwater taffy? I've got a saltwater taffy. Hi, hi, hi. Ventriloquist. Thank you, Cecil Sinclair.
Thank you so much for having me.
Good night. Congratulations on your book. Thank you.
Carla Rhodes, ladies and gentlemen, wonderful. And Cecil Sinclair, of course. Cecil Sinclair. I think Vince should really come back. I'm wondering if I could use my Chihuahua, like just get him to stay there and like say things. I don't know. Did that work? I'd like it. I could do YouTube videos for myself. Okay. You can learn, Carla has so many shows coming up that I asked her which of them to highlight, and she said just send people to her website, which is carlarhodes.com. So please go there and experience more of Carla and Cecil. Also, P.S., there is something for sale tonight at a reduced rate of $20, and that would be, what would that be? Do we have any guess? The book Queen of Vaudeville. Or 10 minutes alone with the ventriloquist dummy, who of course would have to be in the reality show, because he would just have to be. Also drinks, we are at such a wonderful place. Let's give it up for the Nuyorican Cafe. Such an amazing place. Cash bar, avail yourself of it. This is a great, what can I say? I'm sure many of us have been here many times and we'll come back many more times. So, next up, we have another reading / musical / slideshow, or PowerPoint, as we say in the aughts, or we're not even aughts anymore, are we? I don't know where I am. I'm jet lagged. So another little tidbit about Mr. Andy Erdman. He traveled to rural Quebec, which is where Eva Tanguay hails from, to research and meet members of the Tanguay Family Association at their annual meeting, and since it is Quebec Fete. And he said he was really freaked out, but he would walk around and there are all these name tags like, I'm so-and-so Tanguay, and it kind of took him aback, but he got used to it, and he says he got to eat a lot of really good cheese. So the Tanguay, the Quebec, and the cheese thing all went together. And also Mary adds that she's interested in the psychology of performing women, and Eva is, of course, such an interesting character. So let's learn more about her.
The last time Cecil Sinclair and I partied, he was not that rough.
Cecil.
Cecil. Sorry, Cecil. Great. Well, appropriately, this is about Eva Tanguay and some attempts to censor her. Let them read. Read, learn, read, some music.
Learn.
I didn't know that. That's interesting. Is everyone pretty much digested? As the Salome wave started to subside, perhaps a year after its frenzied hegemony first took vaudeville by storm, several things became clear. Big-time vaudeville, by now a quarter century old, less and less claimed to be a chaste or inoffensive undertaking. The Salomes, Eva chief among them, had pulled mass, middle-class approved entertainment into the realm of sexual fascination, more fully than at any time in America's history. 10 years ago, B.F. Keith, vaudeville's most famous producer, held a place of high esteem in the hearts of American vaudeville goers, wrote an editorialist in the New York Dramatic Mirror in 1909. The husband was glad to take his wife. Where is that standard today? Vaudeville is deteriorating. What is tolerated today would have been impossible 2 or 3 years ago. The man of high ideals and the mother of refined daughters now had to cast a critical eye on the diversion that once offered safe haven from the unpredictable and scandalous tumult of urban amusement.
Beginning in February 1909, the New York police spent months carefully examining Eva's frenetic gyrations, her panting and running on stage. They were trying to build a case against Eva, proving she was in violation of the so-called Sunday Law, a series of statutes which limited what performers could do and wear on that supposedly sacred day of the week. Eva, having played more or less continuously for 14 months in New York, was in no mood to tame herself in a city she felt she had conquered.
It was just before Sunday matinee at the Keith and Proctor's 125th Street Theater in July when the officers came knocking. Upon entering her dressing room, they told the actress that she had to cut the dancing out of her routine, noting they had been watching her for close to 6 months.
Closely.
Eva donned a cheery aspect and replied to the gentleman in blue,
Oh, you mean not do the hornpipe in showing the act I presented at my first appearance tonight? All right.
No, they clarified. She was not to dance at all. Not on Sunday, anyway. Eva's tone changed in a flash. Sticky sweetness gave way to fangs. With Eva, there was rarely middle ground.
Perhaps you don't want me to appear at all.
The police explained that she was to desist from the waltz during Who Discovered Love. That was all. Another performer might have let it go at that, but Eva had a penchant for taking things as personally as possible, as if the law had been passed specifically to frustrate her. She retorted,
What of it? Surely that's not criminal.
In fact, explained the policeman, it was.
I certainly shall sing the song properly if I sing it at all. It's not my temperament to keep still. I don't see why I shouldn't. I intend to do my act exactly as I always have.
As one newspaper reported it, Eva simply refused to accept the police's interpretation of the law. After more squabbling with the officers, Eva appeared to back down, for the moment anyway. She claimed that getting hauled into court would have interrupted her travel the next day to Boston for an engagement.
I'll go on the stage and do my best to give my act as you wish. I am doing this solely because I don't want to make trouble for managers who have always been kind to me. I never had the disposition of a stone image, and I never liked to be bossed.
That last bit was certainly true.
Centering now that Cecil has left us. We shall be centered. Take deep breaths, deep breaths. Always good for you. All right, so that was amazing as always, and I just love this is my favorite quote. It was racy and rankled many a reform-minded moralist. I think we could hear that quote. We do hear that quote, some version of that quote today. Maybe by certain people who might be running for president of the United States. I don't know. Call me crazy. And this brings to mind our next performer. Our next performer, Cherry Pitz. Now, Cherry is the co-producer of New York's only ongoing burlesque soap opera, Hotsy Totsy Burlesque. She performs burlesque throughout New York and is co-producer of the variety show And I Am Not Lying. And so we all know what burlesque is, right? Has everyone in this audience realizes what burlesque is and is prepared to see some scintillating and revealing burlesque? And I have to tell you, we're gonna do it old school vaudeville style. So you can hoot, you can holler, you can screech, you can whistle, you can scream, and the more you do that, I have been told the more of Miss Cherry Pitz will be revealed. So let's welcome to the stage Miss Cherry Pitz. Here she comes.
Hi. Ladies and gentlemen. I am here to perform for you a little piece that I have been working on. I have moved to New York from the small town of Nowheresville. Very much like Eva Tanguay, who moved from a small town to the big city, both of us to become stars. And I have discovered that becoming a star requires a lot of hard work and discipline. And so I've been working very hard on a little performance piece to share with you high atop the home for wayward girls and fallen women in my little room. And it is with Vincent Price. This is a record album called Co-Star. You act scenes opposite your favorite star. That is Vincent Price. And I've been working on a scene with him to show you. You want to see it? Yeah. Hit it.
Co-Star presents Mr. Vincent Price in scenes written and adapted especially for you. The setting for this scene is a cheap southern hotel. You, Anne, are what polite society calls a lady of ill repute. You are very beautiful, however, and have attracted the attention of Logan, son of the governor of the state. Logan, played by Vincent Price, opens the scene as he pounds on the door of your room.
Annie, you can open up this door?
No.
Come on, open up this door.
I said no.
In that case. My father's an important man in this community. If you don't respect my word, the least you can do is respect my father's. What he says goes around here, and the sooner you learn that, the better.
Look at what you've done.
I'll have it fixed.
And who will pay for your father, as usual?
Yeah, we'll take it out of the state budget. Once you used to being the governor's son, if you can't enjoy some of the privileges.
Oh, yeah? What happens when they find out you've been chasing after me? You think your name's big enough to cover?
I am. I'm learning to be the next governor of the state. When my daddy steps down, I'll step up. It's all been laid out very carefully.
Until they find out you've been chasing after me. Your name big enough to cover the scandal of you sleeping with a prostitute, with a
Don't say that. I never liked the word.
What will your voters think then?
They'd be proud of me for having such exquisite taste in women. But Anne, honey, you forget I haven't had the pleasure yet.
You stay away from me.
Oh, no. Okay. Let's see how sharp those claws really are.
I'll show you how sharp they are.
Why do we stand here fooling each other? You know as well as I do what I'm here for.
I do.
Yeah, you do. I've been here for over a week now. Where is he? Where's that lead to?
It's the bathroom, and he's not in the bathroom. He's not in the bathroom! He's scared of porcelain. It's a phobia. He's allergic.
Stalling, weren't you? Giving him time to get away. Think you're smart, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And Annie, darling, may it please you to know that I also think you're smart. Too smart. This time you've outsmarted yourself. There are vigilantes all around this hotel. We'll get him, and when we do, we'll string him up.
Not vigilantes!
Goodbye, lady.
You said once you wanted me.
Yeah, I vaguely recollect one
Do you still?
time. And if I do,
Oh, betrayed!
never in this world.
Betrayed, I say, my life for him.
You laugh.
Same thing.
Annie, honey, you flatter me no end. When?
Right now, tonight.
Not enough.
What are your terms?
Tonight and every night. Whenever I want you. In other words, forever.
It's a deal.
Now you talk.
That was amazing. I want I wonder if there I want that whole series of albums. I just want to sit in my apartment and do scenes with famous people. And that was amazing. You can see Cherry Pitz, the And I Am Not Lying variety show is coming up on Saturday, November 3rd and Wednesday, November 7th. You can also check her out on the interwebs and find out all the other amazing things that she does. And I will avoid the obvious jokes about the governor's son. We'll just not go there. And that was amazing. One more time, Miss Cherry Pitz. Remarkable. I haven't really seen much burlesque, but I certainly doubt that there's much funnier burlesque than that. That was hilarious. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I have to study it. Let's see. We are now going to hear solo from Miss Mary Lorson. And let's see. She has done a lot of things. I want to say a couple other things that she's been doing. She has written. She's been involved with the Old School TV series set in Old School, which is a TV series set in 1985 Boston.
Well, I'm hoping it will be. I wrote it, but
she wrote it, so hopefully you'll see it on your screens or mobile devices ere long. And she's also creating the original score for a web series, The Chanticleer. So that's exciting, which seems to kind of tie in the whole Quebec theme. I don't know, a little French, whatever. And she is going to sing Bubble of Pretend, which you can get on her CD, which is also going to be for sale along with the book. And it is the CD Burn Baby Burn. So here is Miss Mary Lorson.
you're doing a wonderful job. Mic on from back there. You good. Well, I can tell you a little bit. So I got curious about Eva, you know, as we all kind of are. And one thing I discovered was that, like all divas, she did have some very interesting obsessive fans, and one of whom was Aleister Crowley. Anybody here know much about Aleister Crowley? He was like an occult spiritual leader. He was a known addict of anything he could get his hands on. He had a very, very strange, decadent life, truly decadent, and he just extolled Eva's virtues. She just captivated him. He thought that she was the quintessential American genius because she was self-defined. He said that the American genius was one that was uncultivated and uneducated and self-created. He just adored her. I don't know whether they ever met, but I've been doing some dramatic writing about this, and I have a scene in which they encounter each other. He was bizarre. But he wrote this elegy to her, and he used some beautiful terms, which I borrowed for some of the lyrics to this song, which is called Bubble of Pretend. How dare you puncture my bubble of pretend? Why does the dream have to end? Steady the thunder that everybody's trembling under the leaves. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so nervous. I'm gonna start over, okay? I don't know why I get nervous sometimes. Thank you. How dare you puncture my bubble of pretend? Why does the dream have to end? Steady the thunder that everybody is trembling under the leaves. The wind, my friends. Shop girls and showgirls, the only ones you love.
pretend the thing you were chasing, you won the race. You ran the wind, you did.
Thank you, Mary. Beautiful. And now we're going to have Andy come back up, and we're going to hear Mary and Andy again. This is going to be Pennies.
Another little Andy factoid. He was doing research in Iowa City. He got stuck in Cincinnati because of weather conditions at LGA. And he had to stay in an Aqua hotel in northern Kentucky in a smoking room. So don't say he didn't suffer for his art. And and also I want to say Mary, as you can tell, tries to adapt to his style, Eva's music to his style that fits today, which I think she does very well. So here we go, Pennies.
On the way back to the airport from that awful room, motel in which I had a smoking room, I just said this to the cab driver. I said, "How do you like Cincinnati?" And it launched into what I could not have predicted, his, shall we say, not extraordinarily liberal views on race relations that took me somewhat by surprise. So I was like, just get me to the plane and get me out. I've never been so happy to see cornfields in my life before Iowa. Great. It makes me happy, okay. In 1909, the U.S. Treasury Department, amid much fanfare, issued a new penny with the face of President Lincoln. The coins had barely started rolling off the mint when Eva got the idea of making them into a stage costume. As part of a well-orchestrated promotional scheme, she let the fans know that the penny dress weighed 45 pounds and had somehow cost $2,000 to make. But that wasn't all. During her vaudeville act, she'd pull the coins off and toss them one at a time into the audience. Here was a strange take on striptease. A reversal of power and money relations, however low the stakes. Fans loved it. Thomas J. Flynn of Brooklyn wrote Eva an adoring letter after seeing her do the Lincoln Penny striptease. "My dear madam, while sitting in the auditory at Keith's yesterday, I received the sum of 2 cents. And while it has been my custom in the past to acknowledge remittances of money, I take the pleasure at this time to thank you for the same." Hilton Thomas, who described himself as your ardent admirer in vaudeville, had an even better tale. Sitting in a Keith vaudeville house in New York City, Thomas was struck on top of the nose by an Eva-flung penny. Determined that no one else should suffer the same blow, he nailed the offending projectile to his office desk. That very afternoon, Thomas made a handsome $1,000 on some stock which I had invested in. The very next day, the lucky investor received word that a property in Connecticut he'd been trying to unload for 8 years had finally gotten snapped up, netting him $9,000 more. He thus implored that, "If you ever hit me on the nose again, I see right now that John D. Rockefeller and J.P. Morgan are liable to get sore." Next time, he requested, she should not only send a penny his way, but please hit me a little harder, as I feel now that instead of hitting me with a cent, you hit me with a bank. Mixing money and sadomasochism into a fetish not unthinkable with the Wall Street crowd. Here's one more paragraph. Vaudeville censors kept a watchful eye on Eva, not necessarily looking for what she was doing wrong, but rather trying to come up with a calculus for what she and they could reasonably get away with. In early 1909, Ned Hastings, manager of Keith's Hippodrome in New York, admitted in a short memorandum that we might like to make some changes in her material, though he appeared hesitant to tamper with box office gold, labeling Eva a phenomenal drawing card. Hastings offered the following rationalization. probably designed to ease the minds of his superiors. I think the fact that it is Tanguay makes people forget what in another might offend.
Yeah, so we're going to hear from Mary again. And another thing I wanted to say that Mary has done is she has written a feature film script about none other than Eva Tanguay. It's entitled Freak, Baby, and the Kill Thought. And now we're going to hear her sing one of Eva's signature songs, which we've heard a kind of a period version of earlier from Molly Pope.
Which was fabulous.
And yes, Molly Pope, ladies and gentlemen, Molly Pope. And now we're going to hear Mary Lorson sing I Don't Care.
I thought I would try to explore the pseudo-dark side of this song. There's I Don't Care, which is great, not that everything's fine, and then there's I Don't Care, meaning I've got nothing to lose. So I'm sort of taking it that way.
They say I'm crazy, I got no sense, but I don't care. They may or may not mean offense, but I don't care. You say I'm sort of independent, I'm a clever race descendant. My star is on the ascendant, that's why I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what they may think of me. I am happy, go lucky. Men say I am plucky, so jolly and so carefree. If I do get the mean and stony stare, stony stare. If I'm never successful, it won't be distressful, 'cause I don't care. Some people say I think I'm it, but I don't care. They say they don't like me, I bet, but I don't care. 'Cause my good nature, effervescent, is one there is no distress in. My spirit, there is no oppressing, just 'cause I don't care. I don't care, I don't care what they may think of me. I am happy, go lucky. Men say I am plucky, so jolly and so carefree. I don't care, I don't care if I do get the mean and stony stare. Stony stare. If I'm never successful, it won't be
You know, I do care if I can.
Stony stare, I'm sorry. No, I know. Annie does it though, so that's okay. That song, I Don't Care, is on her CD, Burn, Baby Burn, which is also going to be available with the book back there after the show. Last but not least, in the tradition of vaudeville shows, they used to have a short film at the end called A Chaser. And so we have one as well. And there is a mysterious woman named Barbara, who may or may not know something about Miss Eva Tanguay. Well, let's find out.
No, I got it. I mean, I got something.
The amazing Matt Scott. Wonderful job. I think Barbara might have smoked a pack of cigarettes making that film. I don't know, somebody told me. I'd like to thank everyone for this evening. Of course, Andy Erdman, I'm so proud and thrilled for him and happy to be here. And, you know, just congratulations, Andy. It's just amazing. And Mary Lorson as well for her wonderful work tonight, many different kinds. And, of course, Molly Pope, Carla Rhodes, Cherry Pitz, back there, I see her pink getup back there. And I also want to thank everyone here at the Nuyorican Cafe, come back often, Jeremy Wang Iverson, Stacy Mandeville, and everyone else who helped out this evening. And thanks to all of you for being here. It's great to have you, and please stay around, drink, and buy a book and a CD or two. And get